This is Jeff Stunkard, and we are here in MCACN on a Saturday night. Everybody's left. This place was packed full of people today, so we're going to show you another special area. This is the A990 Invitational area that was put together by Jim Kramer, and just a lot of great cars here. And I haven't even seen most of this stuff. I was so busy today, so I'm going to get to enjoy it as much as you do. Hopefully I won't stumble over too many of my words as we go. But let's take a look. We'll start out here with the bad beast of the group. This, of course, was Bob Sullivan's Pandemonium Barracuda. Now, I was in Bakersfield with current owner Greg Sullivan and driver Corey Lee, and we did some laps on this car. That was actually over 10 years ago. And again, the car has been beautifully redone. Now it's a little updated for current safety standards, so it's got a more serious roll cage in it. But cool piece from the early evolution of the Fuel Funny car. The second car we'll look at, of course, is Jim Kramer's longtime owned, what was originally the Hemi Agogo. And you can see there's still the first plate on it. This car was painted back in 1972, has a fuel-injected Hemi in it, and was actually a great piece of historic racing in terms of what survived here. So not perfect, and I watched Jim make a couple of laps in this car down at Beaver Springs back in this was probably about 10 years ago. We had a bunch of ultra wheelbase cars get together for a special event, so that was a lot of fun. And again, the paintwork is these graphics and murals, a little spooky, but that's all stuff that was back from that time period, and on there since 1972. You see AFX scoop on that car, obviously a little bigger than the one that was used on the A990 super stock cars. And then we come down here to Leah Podaka's Penetration Plymouth. This is currently owned by Dave Bombard of Michigan. It's got the record here that shows the name, the pyramids play, the penetration, the back from back in the day. Again, not sure how old the paint on this is. And there's a picture of it racing. And nothing like Keystone's black steelies in the back. This says factory original lightweight race car. And James Macris owns this car. Done by Hemi Eddie. Sponsored by Richardson Dodge back in the day. Walk back here and look inside. Again, another automatic. That was a reverse valve body automatic, so you would slap it down to go from first to second and pull it forward to go to third gear at 3-speed. Again, no back seat in these cars. And here's its twin. This one came from Steve Atwell. And this was the Trindle Chrysler RO51 Belvedere one. Again, another car Hemi Eddie has breathed on. Oregon plate in the front's pretty cool. Now we've got another lightweight car here that was done by, that is owned by John Troxel. And I believe this car was at the first Hemi event at Carlisle, if I remember correctly. Troxel, of course, was a long-time Division I sportsman racer. That's pretty cool he's hung on to this stuff. And then Michael Riffer from Missouri brought in this super stock car, and we've got the hood open with the plate underneath and the two air horns and a little Linda Vaughn. And this was the Hurricane, the Freddie Kane Hurricane car out of Wellington, Massachusetts. Cool thing is we've got a few pictures of it here and some newspaper stories. And 1978 U.S. Nationals class finalist. Again, a great piece here. So we continue on in our class of 65 tour here. We've got this Hemi engine that Tom Slow brought in. Again, this engine was at Carlisle, the first Carlisle as well. It was signed by many members of the Ram Chargers before they passed. And Mr. Slow also brought in his 1965 Dodge Coronet. Dependable was built by Dodge. McKay Swift in the northeast Pennsylvania, which was actually a town up in the Erie area. It's got some nice documentation and history on this car. It's a mildly updated roll cage. Here's Mother's Mistake. This one's a Plymouth. So it's got original paint on it. You got a great Tom Redmond was the gentleman who owned this car back in the day. And Paul Johnson owns it now. Here is the Mother's Mistake 1965 Belvedere Superstock. Now this was a car that's been brought back from being radically altered for funny car racing. And originally it looked like this, and then eventually had the rear wheels moved up and the supercharger and some of that other stuff, and then was parted out and has been put back together with the pieces that remained to create this representation of what it was back when it was racing originally in Missouri back in 1965. This car also, I was also involved in unveiling today. Robert Aguilera owns this car, and this was a car that came from a number of different places, originally sold new in the Midwest. It was known as the Thrasher for a while, with some changes to it, as you can see right here. Or the Hustler, rather. And it was the Ram Smoke car initially, which is how most of the collector people know it today. So there's a picture of it on the trailer in its Ram Smoke era. Here's a picture of it as the Hustler. And here's another picture of it back here. So anyway, it's been brought back to as built, and Rob told us a lot of stuff today about the process that he went through to get this done for this show, and just a lot of effort that went in to make the deadline here. So thank you very much for bringing it out here, Rob. Here's another Plymouth, and again Rocco and Elizabeth Odessa from Elk Run, Kentucky own this car. And Wally Walworth from Wisconsin brought this car. Now, I've seen this car run nostalgia races, and again, this is a 65 Coronet. And you can see it's got the bigger plug wires and some of the changes for running nostalgia Superstock, or Superstock Limited, Superstock C Automatic. So, and it is an original car, one of the 101 built. Here's the Humpkin Pumpkin. And that's a Belvedere. It's owned by Dan and Mike Kraszewski of Riverview, Florida. Again, Jim had a lot of great cars come in from all over. And again, Mike Landris is the owner of this car, the Gene's Speed Equipment vehicle, which is Gene's Auto Racing Equipment, and called the Flintstone Charger. And I shot this car, I think at least once, maybe twice for magazine features because it was done so well. Gorgeous piece of history, and that'll conclude this group, and we'll be back in a minute with a couple more cars. We'll start here with the legendary California Flash Butch Leal. Mike Caruso owns this car, and it reportedly, it's going to go to a new owner soon. And this was a car that did not run in 1965 as Butch Leal's car, but when he was doing the boycott of Pro Stock under factory direction in 1974, he had his normal car builder, the talented Ron Butler, put this car together for him. And lots of trick stuff on this thing. And again, Butch ran it well and ran it hard. And he was talking today about it a little bit. It was a lot of fun. Crew chief Gail Mortimer, who also worked for Herb McCandless and Dick Landy back in the day. And Butch has a couple of signed cards as well as the availability of his new book. And Bob McClure wrote. Perhaps one of the most unique cars on display here in this area would be Lee Quinone's 1965 Coronet. It's here that Jim Kramer helped him with a lot of parts. And Lee is actually a world-renowned graphic artist and fine artist who has been noted in publication as well as having his work displayed in major art galleries. And he created this unique stickered look of a pavement and burnout, and just a lot of fun. And we chatted with him today, and we're going to do a little bit on stage with him tomorrow. But very cool way to display the car. And again, this is not a factory race car, but this is a car that Quinones has put together as part of his project cars. And again, cool piece, and it's for the spirit of 65. The great big hood scoop and hood that he fabricated himself. But you can almost hear it coming at you, can't you? And of course, one of the most noted of all was Dick Landy's Dodge from 1965. And Landy's association with the West Coast magazines got him a lot of publicity, and he also understood the benefit of showmanships. Jim Marcus owns this car now as well. It's been through a number of well-known collections. And again, this one typifies the effort that went into Chrysler's altered wheelbase program in 1965. So you can see the front wheels have been moved forward a total of 10 inches. The rear wheels were moved forward a total of 15 inches. And Mike Guffey found this car and restored it. And it's been restored a number of times, well, at least one time since then. So here's a picture of Landy testing it back in the day. Again, you can see the effort went into putting these things together. Just got a blue ribbon there. And that was all business inside. And there's even documentation here. First assignment, MSO, Chrysler Corporation, and Landy's signature on there. And again, just great piece. And great to have it on display here at MCACN 2025.